I think because of the postponement in the regulations, the FIA put a block on development up until the beginning of 2021. So really, we had a small start in 2020, and then our real development started in January 2021. It's been an incredible challenge over the winter, the biggest challenge that I've ever known. The regulations haven't allowed for any carryover from 21 to 22, and not only that, it's just a new concept, a new way of thinking. So incredibly challenging winter. The change in regulations are really trying to promote close racing. They're really trying to get the following car to be able to run closer, to be able to attack the lead car, allow it to use its tyres better, and all to try and promote better racing. I think ultimately time will tell, but I think the data that we've seen and we've been shown definitely point in the right direction. I think we'll see an immense amount of development this season, although limited to a certain degree by the cost cap. The fact that these regulations are so new, that the cars are developing so quickly, we'll see updates coming very, very regularly. I think we've spent the year, like you say, growing up to meet the cost cap. The challenges from here on, how we manage under the cost cap, it is another real challenge. I think we're coming from a good place, so I think we can adapt well to it. We've come from a small team with a low budget, so I think it plays to our strengths. I think to get the real understanding of these cars is probably going to take a while. We're looking back at previous generations of cars that had many, many years of development, highly refined. These cars are going to be really quite rough and ready to start with. So I think it's going to take a number of seasons, I think, before we see the teams really asymptoting and the performance closing up in the field. It's definitely the most radical design change that I've witnessed, and I think that goes back to the early 90s, and I think prior to that probably the biggest change was probably the early 80s. So yeah, we are talking a long time since such a radical change of regulations has occurred. It's a completely new, a different concept of aerodynamics. I think we'll find that the cars are obliged to run close to the ground. It's in the name really, and I think for the cars to run close to the ground, they are going to be running quite stiff. They're going to be quite agile. The drivers are going to have to be working hard, and I think the cars will probably bite the drivers as well when they let go. So I think we're going to see some really interesting racing and driving. The challenge for 2022 is in the tyres. Really, it's going to be the first time that these tyres have been tested with a ground effect car. Up until now, all the testing has been done with the old regulation cars, which deliver their downforce in a completely different way. So the real challenge for 22 is how we're going to manage the tyres with this new type of aerodynamic concept. I think our philosophy going in is not to design ourselves into a cul-de-sac. With these regulations are so new, we want to give ourselves as much opportunity to develop in as many different areas as we can while we establish where the best performant routes are. I think to show improvement from where we were in 21, the team is still going through a huge amount of growth, and I think to show improvement while we're growing would be a real achievement. It's great to see the factory taking shape. I mean, it's a great motivator for everyone when we walk in the morning to see another step on the build. Yeah, the people side of 23 races is a big challenge. We spent some time considering what would be the best way to attack this season and keep our personnel fresh and motivated. And we've put lots of things in place for this season because of that. And I think what we're trying to do is relieve some of the workload trackside and try and bring as much of the workload as we can into the factory with pre-simulations and assistance from the factory side. So that's been our big push over the winter. I think even with such a radical change in regulations, to have drivers that seamlessly move from one season to the next is really important to us. We've got a good relationship with both drivers. We've got Seb with years of experience, and Lance who's really improving with every race. So I think that the combination is a great combination. But I think that the main thing for us is that we know them so well, they know us so well, they know what last year's car was like. They know what's good, what's not good, and I think we're leaning on that a lot. Yeah, our technical sponsors have been a real positive help to us over the past 6-12 months with these new regulation changes. We've really had to push the boundaries of simulation because we have no data for the real car. It's all pushing the virtual side of the development more than we've ever done before. So with the technical partners we've really managed to leverage them, and we owe them a great gratitude for the help they've given us over the winter.